These shoes.
These gloves.
Because I need something as reliable as I am.
Because they keep me light on my feet.
Because my hands are my tools.
Sometimes it's hard to keep up.
The hours are long.
My body wants to quit. But I'm proud.
It's who I am.
It's my grind. This is our coffee. And this is how it lives.
What's up, guys? Mandy Rose here, and you're watching THS Wrestling on the Hashtag Show.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. If your team scored more than 6 points, you're having a great day. This is THS Wrestling presents That Wrestling Show. My name is John, and joining me, as he does every week, is my good friend Neeson. Neeson, hello.
Hello. How I'm assuming you're not doing so well because your team didn't score more than 6 points.
They didn't. It was bad, but whatever. Who cares?
Well, shout out Raiders. They beat the Steelers.
They did. They did indeed. Neeson, how you doing?
I am great, sir. How are you doing today on this fine Sunday? That what a last 2 weeks of professional wrestling that we had.
My God, indeed. I'm doing pretty well. I have watched almost all of GCW's last show they put out, the one that was here on Friday. I've yet to watch the match I purchased it for, which was Jonathan Gresham versus Minoru Suzuki. But,
yeah,
we'll get there. And they announced their next two shows that are going to be in LA, back-to-back days. They're doing Bloodsport 7 on a Friday, and then they are doing I already forgot the name of the show. I apologize, but they're running they're just running a little match between Nick Gage and Minoru Suzuki. So had to buy the ticket for that.
Yeah. I just had a random question. First of all, shout out Matthew. I'm not gonna say your other comment that you posted.
Wow.
What's up? What's up, Jacob? What's up, Ken? All I'm gonna say is win, baby, win. The Raiders. And I just wanted to say, what if this is really just random, because I just had a thought about
with a boss, the blueprint standard, the GOAT, the queen of the sale, the draw, the DDT and Boba Fett Mandalorian, Sasha Banks.
What
one take, by the way.
One take. What if she showed up at GCW one day? Do you think she'd be one of the wrestlers that wrestle like a actual like GCW death match?
Like in her career?
WWE contract is over. She wants to go wrestle in Japan. This wasn't even on a run sheet, guys. She wants to go wrestle in Japan. She wants to go wrestle in Mexico. She wants to do all the things because she loves professional wrestling. And we're starting to see, like, yes, people that love professional wrestling go to AEW, but we now starting to see GCW is what PWG used to be, and Reseda. Like, people want to pass through. People want to pass through GCW. So, do you think Sasha Banks could be one of a female wrestler that could really put death matches on the map for female wrestlers?
For her, no. And I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
You mentioned it in the video that you just showed us. The Mandalorian. I don't think we want to. Not just the Mandalorian. I'm talking more like Hollywood.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't want to be doing some death matches because we don't know how those will go sometimes. That's just me. I would love to see Sasha Banks wrestle a death match. I think that would be crazy. But also I don't want her to die is another thing, because we know that she goes, pardon the pun, all out for matches. So
I think that's the next boom with GCW is finding a crossover female talent that does death matches.
Marina Shafir is going to appear at Bloodsport. I know she made it to NXT, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but she's not. Yeah, but I mean, like, if Ruby Soho probably would have showed up at like GCW.
Yeah,
I think that. I mean, that will be a higher level than Marina. You know, that just random thought, guys. Just throwing it out there.
I'll bounce it back at you when someone else's contract is up. Do you think Liv Morgan would do a death match?
That just confused me. No, I don't think. Ooh, I don't know, because she was backstage. I was backstage with Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan.
Oh yeah,
at GCW.
That's right.
In Tampa, and they were loving it, and they're real tight with Josh Barnett.
Oh, both of them are really?
Yeah, they actually came for Bloodsport.
I mean, Regal and Moxley were at Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Before Moxley left WWE.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a whole thing.
So, man, yeah, Liv, I think that will be how Matt Cardona basically reshaped his career with just one season of GCW runs.
Yeah.
I think that will be the way to reshape Liv's career for sure, man.
Absolutely. Couple of disclaimers before we get into regular topics. The first disclaimer is, I don't know if you can see this black object that is moving on my couch. that is hashtag Henson the little pup. Camilla the littler pup is also in here. I have people moving in upstairs above me, and they're not fans. So if there's any barking, I will try to mute myself, and I apologize in advance. That's I think, first and only disclaimer.
Hey, man, yeah. It's the pups.
I'm just letting them know. It's the pups. I'm by myself this weekend. The pups will follow me wherever I go. And speaking of things that will, I just want to follow wherever they go. We got a new WWE champion.
Oh, do we? And
he called his shot Monday morning. And I said to myself, they might mess. If they mess this up, they are absolutely clueless. I messaged you that, right? I said, if they mess this up, they're clueless. They have no idea. Because the last time we did something like this, and this was the first week of football, was Sandow's cash in, and he lost to Cena. And we did that to top the rating. Now, this one we were being told was happening as a direct, not retaliation. What would the word be? Reaction. Reaction to what AEW had been doing. And we'll get to AEW in a minute here. So Big E calls his shot. They moved the Orton Lashley match up to Raw. And after the match, Lashley, wow, I can't think of anybody's names right now. I apologize. Lashley looked like he tweaked his knee.
This was Lashley after he threw Randy Orton through a table to tweak his knee.
Yeah, because then Big E's music played, and I love. There's always like I think maybe more realism that comes out of Lashley than should be, where it almost looks like he's like, this is ridiculous, right? Like, where he's kind of like smiling, like, this is so stupid. Please do not let him cash in right now. Well, you think Lashley's legit hurt?
And that's what we called
a work shoot.
Good work right there.
So he cashes in, and they were very, like I told you, if they mess this up, they're clueless. They said, we'll be right back. And I went, they're not going to mess this up. They're not going to mess this up. They're giving people the time to be like, oh shit, Big E's cashing in.
Can we have a conversation about that commercial break?
I can't remember. It was Monday, and I think we were about to eat dinner, and I was like, Big E's about to cash in. I need to watch this immediately. And I was just like,
right. I think
I'm messing up.
I know. I thought it was the best thing to do was to go to commercial break because it felt big. It felt like it was one of those moments where if this was the 90s, I would have been on a call like, Bingo, Big E's about to cash in. Instead, it was like text message. It's Twitter. You felt the energy going into the commercial break, which was crazy. Like,
yeah.
And then I thought the same thing as I remember, like, I was like, okay, I was drinking something. I'm like, oh, they go, like, they can't mess it up. We just had the conversation. So when they come back from commercial, and it wasn't even a 3-minute commercial, it was like a 1.5 minute.
Oh,
commercial.
yeah, it was very quick.
It was very quick. And they came back from commercial. You instantly felt this like groundswell of the wrestling community, just like everybody just leaned in to their TVs, like, is this really about to happen? Is this about to happen? And they had and they actually went back and forth. And I thought, and I know Matthew talked about the leg, his selling the leg. I thought it was real weird. I thought the leg thing was very out of place. Because
I agree, but his finisher, he has to lift him up.
Right.
Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry, he doesn't use. Wait, yeah, he uses the Dominator, right?
Yeah, he uses the Dominator. He uses the Dominator, and he uses the
like
the
Hurt
Floyd
Locker.
Nelson. Yeah, the Hurt Lock. So, I thought. I mean, I loved it. I loved it because it didn't feel. It felt like Lashley was going to kick out the way they shot the way they shot the big ending.
Right.
It felt like
Lashley.
It felt like he was about to kick out because they didn't shoot. They didn't like Biggie turned to hard camera. They didn't shoot Biggie at the hard camera. Like they shot it from the side. So I'm like, oh, he's about to kick. So I'm drinking. It's like 1, 2, 3. It was like it was the Kofi Kingston moment again. It was like when we all watched Kofi win. It was like 1, 2, 3. It's like and I literally jumped up off my bed and was like, holy shit.
They actually did it.
Right. Raw is now saved. Not only by the New Day, but the first time 2 black guys or a black wrestler has transferred the championship to another black wrestler. Yeah. That is the most insane thing. Guys, there's been 50 something champions. There's only been 4 WWE champions out of that 50 something. And we could count how many incredible talents have came through. But this was the first time it has went from 1 black wrestler to another black wrestler, and that energy, by God, you got 2 of them, literally 2 of the 4 in the ring right now. Yeah, as we're looking at it, it was incredible,
and we're all back together on Raw.
We're all back.
Is just great. Man, we've really come a long way since Ron Simmons, huh? Beating Vader,
right?
This was great. I watched it on my phone and I celebrated silently in my kitchen. I was like, fuck yes, dude, let's go. I think WWE just put it up today, but I remember when they broke up the New Day, and there was that conversation backstage between Kofi and Big E, and they were like, it's fine, dude. Like, this is your time. We want this for you. Don't wait a decade like, they did with me. This is your time. And it's great because Big E is like, I mean, they're all the best. All the New Day, they're all great. But Big E is just like, he's a student of the game. You can see that in his tweets, who he tweets, what he tweets about. He loves professional wrestling. And this is it's fantastic. I'm so happy for him. He just seems like a genuine great dude. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he took the title to the barbershop, guys. Like, I don't know one champion that has gotten a haircut with the WWE title sitting on his shoulder, on his meat shelf, as he likes to call it. I don't look, just the breath of fresh air, but not only that, and I said this in the Raw recap, guys. If you have a chance, make sure you tune into Raw recaps on right in here where you're checking out this video after Monday Night Raw. I said this then, that they gave the ball to the New Day. They said, hey, and I to me, it reminded me of the Shang-Chi experience, is like, our experiment rather, like, oh, like this is, the whole thing with Marvel was like, we're giving the first Asian-led film, and we're putting this thing behind it. And if it didn't succeed, they would have always pointed to such, right? And I was kind of worried, like, they're putting the ball to the New Day, not just Big E, but Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, which we clearly see by the match we're getting tomorrow night.
Yeah,
they're putting the ball in the New Day's hands and said, lead us through not only Monday Night Football, but lead us to at least getting our ratings back in the key demo. You have what the New Day is in touch to the key demo. They know what we're talking about. They know how to talk to us. They're on Twitter constantly. All the things you just said. They know what wrestler is hot. He's tweeting Will Hobbs and saying, you have everything. And you have all the tools. Like, and we all know this, right? Like, he's been talking on the internet, like on the internet, about how all these other wrestlers have been messaging him from other companies, about how he's been messaging them, just talking about how great they are, right? Like, the ball is in a New Day's hands right now. And all I want to say is to us fans, we all respect the New Day. Give them their rating pop. That's it. Like, just tune into their, if you may not like Raw, but tune into their segments, because especially this Monday, because man, this is a match that I've been screaming for years.
Oh, Henson. Hold, please.
Yeah, this is a match that I've been screaming for years. It's the Bloodline versus the New Day. By God, main event: Roman Reigns, Big E, the Usos, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. The New Day's here to save the day for Raw, guys.
Now, but I mean, I think this will bleed into our AEW conversation. What do you, Matthew? Come on,
God damn it,
Matthew. Why do you hate the New Day?
Why do you hate me so much, Matthew?
Wow,
you just hate me. What did I do? Okay, I'm just a Raider fan that's winning. All we do is win, baby, win. Okay,
the will to win.
Yeah,
I know the catchphrases.
Yeah, it's just, I don't understand. I don't get it. The pack, is this because the Packers lost? Is this why they lost? They got beat the first week? I don't understand. Sorry. Continue.
My God. But love Big E, love New Day, not sitting through 3 hours of Vince Dunn to see them. We'll just watch Twitter and then turn it on once people are like, oh shit, the New Day's here. And then turn it off.
That's it. I get it. That's what I do. I get not watching full 3 hours of Raw. But I can say last week felt really good. That was a Raw that felt good. You could tell because of the thread that Big E had. So give it a chance, man. Give it a chance.
I forgot to tell you. So I didn't watch all of Raw last week because, my catchphrase is no one's forcing you to watch Monday Night Raw. But I was tuning in, and Lauren came out of the bedroom and she was like, because I had moved on to making dinner or something, and she was like, were you watching Monday Night Raw? I was like, yeah. And she just looked at me like I was crazy because she knows.
She knows. That's all. That's the thing. I think this is the best way to do it with rumors of Drew McIntyre moving to SmackDown, and I think that'll be great for Drew and Roman to really help that whole get Drew some more legs under his belt. But now Big E on Raw, you put Finn Balor on Raw, turn him heel, have him versus Big E. Man, there's so much you could do to make really Raw entertaining through and through. And I think this is just the start of it. And New Day, as much as they, people want them to break up, they want them to change their gimmick. I honestly think we're I think we're just cracking the surface, like legitly just cracking the surface of what truly can be done.
Absolutely. Do you think with the Bloodline and the New Day happening on Monday, do you think we're kind of entering, and I guess this will kind of bleed into our conversation, do you feel like we're entering a, like, clearly it's a one-upsmanship, but do you think it'll get to the point where, like, we're seeing, because we thought we'd see this match at Survivor Series.
Yes.
And we're getting it, and I mean, we still could, because Survivor Series, now that I look at it, isn't for 2 months. But do you think it might get to the point where it gets a little stale, or they run out of ideas and they're like, people like this match, let's just keep running it back?
I think we could get a best out of 3 with this, for sure. I think, wow, this is actually a great comment. My God, I will actually be into this.
That would be great.
Yeah, that will actually be really good.
But also, please stop calling them T-Bar and Mace. I don't care. Yeah,
I don't understand that, but that's just stupid.
Why are we holding on to that still? I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, I think we can get the best out of 3 with this, man. And I think we're starting to see this. The whole best out of look, they're giving us Seth Rollins and Edge best out of 3. Why not? And they're on separate brands. This is why I love the brand split, because when people come together, it feels big. It feels like I have to watch Monday Night Raw now, and then they're going to go their separate ways and they're going to do their thing. And then when they come back for Survivor Series, I have to watch whatever show this is going to be on now. Like, I don't like the idea of ending the brand split because of this, because it gives all these other wrestlers a chance and opportunity to, one, not be on every single week, to build themselves up. And when they do come together, unless it's Baron Corbin just showing up on SmackDown or Raw or something, whatever it is,
right,
it feels big. So yeah, I think we get best of 3. I wouldn't mind seeing this going from Monday to Survivor Series, or Monday Crown Jewel Survivor. I can't be Crown Jewel, but Monday Survivor Series TLC. What if it's a triple threat? I mean, a 6-man tag TLC match
for just TLC.
I guess it has to be.
I was like, for what? No, it doesn't have to be for anything. I think it was.
Just the TLC match.
I feel like it's usually for tag belts, or a belt or something, but it doesn't have to be. Can be a pinfall.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be
that TLC, would be nuts.
A TLC Bloodline versus New Day.
When's the last time they did a TLC match? Don't they have a pay-per-view called TLC?
It's December.
TLC is in Chicago. Okay. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Let's just talk about this real quick. Why in the hell is AEW going back to Chicago and not coming out here
to LA? Have they just never been in LA?
I am furious. They've never been to California. Well, that's not true. Wait, yes,
they haven't been in Ontario. They haven't been in the Bay Area. No.
What have
not been in LA? I don't get it. And I noticed that they have plans to come. I think they said in March or something. Or they had plans of coming during 2020.
Yes.
But come on, like, nothing goes on at the Civic Center. Nothing in Ontario.
I agree. Chicago does rule, but also no.
Like,
give me what I want.
The furthest west they come is Vegas. Like, you could come to LA. LA's a huge market for them. I don't understand.
I don't get it either. Cody's still scared to travel. Oh my God.
Hey guys, I'm interviewing Cody and Brandy tomorrow. Won't you send in your questions for Cody and Brandy, please?
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm interviewing them tomorrow. Yeah. This guy.
Oh, I wonder why I wasn't given that duty. So, Cody, wow, that's great. Breaking news for me, at least.
So, Cody, do you think you're Jesus? Is that why you're doing this?
What comic book are you basing your run with Malachi Black off of? Please tell me. No, that's fun. That's exciting.
It's fun. It's fun.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it has to do with union law. Oh. I don't know the law
stuff in California. It's affecting college sports.
I don't know. We can't get into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's Arizona look, every West Coast needs the shows.
Yeah, not just Vegas.
Like you're dangerously becoming like I know everyone's like they're like WCW. It's like no, you're literally just touring in the same parts. So you're becoming WCW. Come out to California and don't go to the Cow Palace. Wait, does the Cow Palace still exist?
It does still. Well, it exists like 7 years ago. I don't know if it still exists today.
Huh. Anyway, so yes.
The WCW came to LA, but they only ran the Forum and they did it for a house show.
Dude, I'm so mad I never saw a proper WCW. I'm so mad.
Yep.
They did I think they did a pay-per-view at the Cow Palace. And I was like, I want to go. And then I didn't. And now it just doesn't exist anymore.
That's whack. See?
Apparently Mike went to the house show.
See?
God damn it, dude.
I heard about it. I just heard about it. Didn't go. It was like Hogan on top or something like that. But
that's cool. Love it.
Whatever.
AEW needs to run the Forum, like for sure. Conan was super over.
Don't run the Forum. Run.
Why?
Because I hate driving through Inglewood with that traffic. That's a whole other thing. It's a whole
we were just talking about this the other day. Every time I've gone to the Forum, it's been an absolute shit show.
Yes.
Wrestling with Regret suggested Kofi and Big E at WrestleMania. I could get down with that. I would be fine with that. Neeson?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. So let's talk about AEW. They literally just were like, this week we're in New York. Here are 2 pay-per-view quality shows. Absolutely insane cards. We're just having Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega. I don't know if this is for the championship.
It's not. It's not for the championship.
It is just a non-title match,
match.
Which is crazy in itself. I think we're also getting on that card. The return of Cody Rhodes taking on Malachi Black. Look, I'm interested. It's a pay-per-view quality match. We can't really get around that, no matter how we feel about anything. And then we're having the women's world. Oh, and Sting's just gonna wrestle FTR.
Just Sting, 65-year-old Sting, and Darby Allin, which is like his grandson, is wrestling. And I'm not saying this to be ageist. I'm saying this is like that's how epic this card is. Like, yeah. This is wrestling, just one of the best tag teams in the world. Oh, and Tully just happens to be in the corner of one of the best tag teams in the world. That was basically Sting's. It was the 4 Horsemen and Sting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then we're also getting Britt Baker and Ruby Soho for the Women's World Championship. Which do you think? Do you think it's too soon to run this match already, or just no? Let's go. Let's do it. Okay.
Ruby. So
you think she's gonna win?
No, I don't think she. No, because she we don't, and I can't put it past them honestly, but we just as I'm conditioned to think like we don't know who Ruby Soho actually is, so why would we give her a title right now when we actually know who Britt Baker is? Actually, Britt Baker is at the top of her game, and Britt Baker is the DMD of AEW.
Let's see. We've got Matthew says yes. She should win on Wednesday. It's too soon, but Baker retains, says Ken. Let me know what everybody else in the chat. Let me know if you think Ruby Soho is our new AEW Women's World Champion. And then was there another match or oh yeah, and then we're just having a 2-hour rampage where Eddie Kingston is going to face off against Minoru Suzuki. I'm well aware it's a tag team match, but holy shit, Eddie Kingston's going to face off against Minoru Suzuki. That's just one of the, and it's a lights out match, which means there's no rules and they're going to go all over the place, and it's going to be great.
First of all, Rampage should be 2 hours no matter what.
I agree.
They have enough. Look, Rampage is gonna be 2 hours by the end of the year. Dynamite will be 3 hours by the end of next year.
So a little Nitro and Thunder happening. We'll see. I'm not bored with AEW. Every time they go and listen, here's what we're doing next week. It's like, holy shit, they're like, yeah, this is come stay here. This is what we're going to be doing every week. Mm-hmm. I will say, I wouldn't mind seeing more than one women's match on one of these freaking cards.
Well, that extra hour on both shows is going to do it for him.
I mean, hopefully. And then MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr. is also happening on Dynamite, but Rampage has, just CM Punk wrestling his first television match in over 7 years against Powerhouse Hobbs with Hook. Let's just take a look at Hook here, who apparently has gear. Why is this not Hook taking on CM Punk? Oh, I assume Hook's next, right?
Hooked CM Punk on Wednesday.
Yeah, so he did. Dragon Sleeper, man.
He has to.
Great segment.
Oh my god. Great segment. But you knew that was coming just from the jump of like CM Punk's gonna be a fourth chair on commentary.
Yeah.
It's like, somebody's gonna come and attack him. But yeah, the Hook. I was really surprised to see Hook him. And again, it's just a credit to AEW of like, this thing is trending on Twitter. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's absolutely do it. And then they're also going to be doing a 6-man tag. The Super Click, as they are now called. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks taking on Christian Cage and his little buddies, the Jurassic Express. It's a weird pairing, but who cares? This match is going to be great. I guess my question is, they have so many great, like we were talking about last week, how we're like, or no, not even last week. I forget that Neeson and I literally talk every fucking day. We were talking about how they have so many great people just kind of waiting in the wings for when the older people that they brought in for, because they still want to wrestle and they are a name and they bring eyes. When they leave, we're going to be with so many, like we have so much talent there. Hobbs will beat Punk. I think I said that to somebody. Hobbs should beat Punk. He would be made immediately. But also Hook should beat Punk because he's Hook and the internet loves him.
I just want to say this, Derek. You came you came in the chat right after we finished talking about this. Like we literally started the whole top of the show about Bloodline and A New Day. It's not. I think that'll be the second match. Of course, we have the match tomorrow night, but the second one will be at Survivor Series. But yes, Hook, Punk, Hobbs, incredible. Adam Cole is a star, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you didn't know, now you know.
God. What do you think is gonna happen with Adam Cole? Do you think he's gonna break away? Do you think he's gonna be the one to break away from the Elite? Have you seen BTE last week?
I haven't seen last week's, no.
So, just a little quick update. They didn't tell him that they poisoned his monster. So they were like, he was like, oh, fine, I'll go find, where's Hangman? I love that guy. I'm gonna go hang out with Hangman. And they're like, hey, maybe you should not hang out with Hangman. And they're like, he left. He was like, well, I'm gonna go find Hangman. And they're like, don't have a drink with him, like that type of thing. And when they left, they're like, how do we tell him what happened?
It on Hangman?
They were just like, how do we tell him what happened? How do we tell him, like, us and Hangman, the relationship that us and Hangman have? He was like, it's very difficult. Like, what are we gonna do? And then Kenny was like, yeah, because he was more, they basically did it where Adam Cole was more over than Kenny Omega in New Japan, so they poisoned him. and sent him off to WWE. So they were like, and so he said something about, yeah, that guy's over. He's like, yeah, we got to take care of it. And they're like, no, not again. And he's like, yo, you're right. Not again.
Interesting. So you think, do we get like some sort of split off faction with Hangman and Adam Cole?
I don't know, man.
Called
I think
the
so.
Adams.
No. I think we definitely get a faction split between Kenny Omega and Adam Cole. I think you can't have them two in a faction for too long, for sure.
See, this is where I'm going with Ken. I think that's Paige's return.
I mean, I wouldn't. I would be all for it for sure, but I think if it's a feud, I think it's a thing of like Adam Cole learning what really happened, learning that he got poisoned by his friends, learning that he, Kenny Omega is really just jealous of him and an egotistic maniac and is trying to manipulate his power to basically be the man on top. I think that's the ultimate, because even you could tell inside the ring where we're getting to, like, I think that's where we're going, where Kenny Omega is going to try to manipulate things. Okay, Hangman's out the way. Or Cody was out the way. Right. Hangman's out the way. Adam Cole is going to be out the way.
Is Rampage being taped on the same day as Grand Slam? I believe it is.
They're doing a 4-hour taping. 2 for Dynamite, 2 for Rampage.
Yeah. So, I mean, avoid spoilers if you want. Or if you don't, that's fine too. I will say I really hope Rampage is it just going to be taped going forward?
Yeah, it's only live. I think they said it's only going to be live the pay-per-view weeks.
Okay.
But it's
all right, I guess that's fine. I don't know. So for some reason when that happens, I'm like, I don't know if I already read what happened, so
yeah. I tried.
Yeah, my friend Trey is going. And he was also at I'm sorry, Troy. Trey. Who the fuck is Trey? Sorry, Troy. Young. Troy's going to that show. And he was also at last week's. And he's also going to that GCW show that has Minoru Suzuki versus Homicide on it. I'm like,
so he just lives in Chicago? Is that
Well,
what
no, because last week's was in Jersey, wasn't it?
I just feel like Chicago, they're always at Chicago, so it's just
he's just all over.
He just lives in Chicago.
I'm gonna hear it from him for calling him Trey. It's also his anniversary. Happy anniversary, Troy.
Happy anniversary, Trey.
That's not his name. He's at the Mets games right now, so he's probably having a real shitty time.
Yeesh.
Yeah, they brought in Danhausen unannounced yesterday for the Ron Funches Tony Deppen match, which was a lot of fun. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't like a technical masterpiece, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. So I mean, we've gone over these cards, and I mean, again, they're giving this away for free. Must be good. I can't remember if I've told you that infomercial that I saw a long time ago where that was a thing that happened. But are we saving anything for pay-per-views anymore? Or do we not care about that?
I mean, they only do pay-per-views once a quarter.
That's true. So these are kind of like their oh my god, their why can't I remember the name of my favorite Clash of Champions? Of the Champions events. Okay. I mean, that makes sense because I feel like we're probably not going to get these two shows back to back every week now. But it is nice to see that they're just like, here you go.
Hey, talk about the Ron Funches match real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it was very entertaining. He came out in I mean, it was a little late to maybe change the robe, but he came out in a Ric Flair style robe. We'll talk about that next. And he had the corner man of Paul Scheer, who you might know from How Did This Get Made, the podcast. How Did This Get Made? Or also from The League. I believe he was Andre on that show, which is just,
I love The League.
Even if you don't play fantasy football, you need to watch that show. It's so good.
So great.
Just very, very funny. But the match was a lot of fun. Deppen did great. I think Funches did great with, it was basically like very first celebrity match kind of for the most part. And then an unannounced Danhausen came out, which was fun. And then Paul Scheer turned on Ron Funches and joined Tony Deppen. And then Allie Katch came in the ring with a knife and threatened to stab Paul Scheer, and he ran away. It was crazy.
Shit. Oh shit!
It was fun.
Well, shout out
he powerbombed Deppen through a door.
Oh my god!
It was great. It was so fun.
Shout out Ron Funches, man. I know he trained pretty hard for this. He's been training for a couple of years now. He lost a ton of weight.
Yeah,
looks incredible.
Yeah.
And he trained at my old stomping grounds as well, I believe.
Oh.
So kudos to that guy, man, for putting in the work.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And now we're going to talk about something that is not fun. We're going to talk about this week's episode of Dark Side of the Ring, which the topic. Now, that's supposed to be Bradshaw. I'm like, who is this man sitting down supposed to be? Supposed to be Bradshaw. So it covered the plane ride from hell, something we have all heard about for a very long time. We've heard different stories, and we got various accounts from Jim Ross, from Tommy Dreamer, from Just Incredible, from Rob Van Dam, and from Mike Chioda, and from one of the flight attendants that was on board. And if you guys haven't watched any of Dark Side of the Ring, it's very well done. It's everything you would want in a kind of behind the scenes wrestling show. But this one gets the fuck. This one gets pretty deep in the woods. It's there's a lot of different things that are happening, and I will say, like, yeah, the Tommy Dreamer stuff was, I mean, basically there's a couple of different accounts going on. Basically, the flight attendant was backed into a corner by a naked Ric Flair wearing his robe, which is something that we have heard that he has done before, but this was with him backing this woman into a corner to where she could not get away and was very uncomfortable. And I believe also Scott Hall like licked her, and he was he has no recollection of this. And this was when Scott Hall probably shouldn't have been anywhere near alcohol and a ring and the boys. So it was just very and then we had the other like Terry Reynolds stuff. Did you end up watching it?
I did. I watched it today.
We had the Terry Reynolds don't sell it to sexual harassment, which is just like holy shit. And through the whole thing, I mean, we got the JR stuff where they're like, okay, well, who got fined? And he's like, we fired Scott Hall and we fired Kurt Hennig. And they're like, well, what about Ric Flair? And he kind of just sat there. And he said, well, Ric Flair is a made man. And so Ric Flair didn't get fined or anything. There was a lawsuit. And yeah, Chioda, like, nobody came out looking great. Especially Tommy Dreamer, who basically was like, hashtag boys will be boys. It's a joke. He's not a sexual predator. And you know, if like, there was a lawsuit, and then he also said, what did he say? That was like, well, she was really bent out of shape about it. she would have not settled out of court. Was that what he said?
Yeah, it was something in the veins that I can't remember the exact term, but that was basically the overall thing of like, if you're that bent out of shape, why did you settle out of court and take the money, and now you're back here talking about it, sort of thing.
Right. So, and he's like, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm if I offend someone, and then he kind of like tries to change the conversation to his double fucking ponytail, which was really fucking weird. Like, oh, this is offending someone. I'm just happy I have hair. And I was like, okay. So to Impact told Tommy not to show up to work because they were having tapings. And then there's Jim Ross going like, well, he's a made man. And here's Tommy Dreamer being like, I'm married and I have 2 daughters. I don't give a fuck about it. It was just what the boys do. Holy shit, man. It was just all very disturbing. It was more disturbing to watch with Lauren, who had no idea about any of this. And at the beginning, she's like, the innovator of violence, that's a really cool name. And then 20 minutes later, she was like, fuck you, screaming fuck you at the television. Yeah, man, it was just very, what else happened? Ric Flair had his little, like, where he's the call center guy, and he's like, hey, buy car insurance. And they're like, no, we're good. We're good off that. And then, I mean, Mike has a great point. How many times did this shit happen without it making headlines? I mean, it's just all very disappointing. And yeah, also I will say, I know she said that Dustin Reynolds is the only guy that came to her defense, but we only got testimonial from her and not the other flight attendant who was suing them. If you read that report, he did not come out smelling like roses either. Very disturbing shit on that end too. So Neeson, you and I think we talked about this for about 30 minutes the day after. And you hadn't watched it yet. How are you feeling after you watched the whole thing?
I advise, if anybody hasn't watched this yet, or if they want to watch this again, to watch it with a valet or lady friend of some sort, because it's very interesting to watch them hear these things and as it unfolds, and kind of feel them on how they feel uncomfortable just by watching it.
Yeah.
Because as guys, like, yes, we know these things are wrong, but we also do know that this was just a separate time. And like, my biggest takeaway is, why did anybody agree to do this? Why did anybody agree to be on this documentary? Like, were they paying you that much, Mike Chioda? Were they paying you that much, Tommy Dreamer? Were they paying you that much, Jim Ross? Like, no, I wouldn't. Like, if I'm on that flight, I'm not talking about this, because in no way it makes anyone look good at all. Not a soul looks good. Even we talked about, even the flight attendant doesn't really look good, because now people could just point to be like, okay, but you settled, like it. And now we're back talking about it again. It just didn't, as I watched it, I just didn't feel good about it, man. Like, I was just like, this isn't the craziest thing to me was, honestly, was Brock Lesnar and Kurt Hennig just fighting on a plane in the middle of the air.
Yeah.
Like I would just be petrified as a flight attendant, a passenger, whatever. I'd be scared as shit.
Yeah.
These 2 big dudes like bumping around this plane, but from Michael Hayes getting his ponytail cut to Michael Hayes slapping the shit out of Bradshaw, like, it's it was just chaos. And I mean, I don't subscribe to the fan as boys will be boys thing. But I will subscribe to the thing of like, unfortunately, in recent periods in our history, that was the social norm.
Yeah, and this wasn't even that long ago.
No, that's what I said. In recent,
less than 20 years ago.
Well, right, it was 19 years ago, right? Like it was like right less than 20 years ago. But that's what I'm saying. But in recent social norms, like we just had a president that on his campaign trail was caught saying you have to grab them by the pussy, and then defending it by that's just locker room talk. Boys will be boys.
Yeah, man.
Guys, this was just 4 or 5 years ago. So if this guy is feeling this way, and I mean, it also has to go with a lot of privilege, like, because if you ever been in any type of high school locker room, middle school locker room, high school locker room, college locker room, the privilege and entitlement that comes with that is astounding. But that's not saying that anybody's right or anybody's right, because everybody's wrong. I'm just like, how the fuck do you agree to be on this, to put yourself out as being wrong? Like, that's literally like you went on there to say, yeah, things happen. She got accosted. Well, Ric Flair was showing his dick. Yeah, he was showing his dick. Everybody knew he was showing his dick. He did it everywhere. It was a thing. Brock Lesnar, I was told not to sell it. Like, yeah, I'm not supposed to sell it because then they're doing more to me. Like, how is that okay? It's not okay. That's how it's okay, because it's not okay.
And it's like you met, like, why would anyone agree to do this? I wonder when they were in pre-production if they're like, I mean, we'll probably get Meltzer for this, and that's about it. And they're like, no, they all agree. Wait, what?
Like how? Like how? Like that really, really shocks me. That I know. I mean, to me, this has to be the last Dark Side of the Ring. Like, I mean, the last season, because I'm pretty sure they got all they can in the can, right? Like, but they can't. And who's going to come on Dark Side of the Ring and come out thinking like they're going to be in a good light?
I mean, I mean, depending on, I guess, the topic. Like, I think this is the one, for the most part, where the subjects haven't passed away, that you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But this one, it's like, I mean, some of them had, I mean, but it's still like, holy shit. Like, it's crazy. And I feel like, I mean, for the most part, as a wrestling fan, we've known this, but it's kind of like you said, when you watch it with someone who's not maybe as into wrestling as you are, and they're just like, wow, that's fucked up. And then you're like, yeah, that is fucked up. I never really thought about that. Yeah.
I mean, but what, and I think in our conversation, I just said, where does this go? Like, because it's not, Tommy Dreamer gets suspended. But I mean, Flair, luckily, and I think that WWE dodged a huge.
Do you think they knew?
I mean, yeah, they knew. They knew what happened. Like, everybody knew.
No, I'm sorry. Do you think they knew when they saw it was coming out and he's like, I want my release? They're like, yeah, sure.
No. I think bye. No, just from the stories of Ric Flair, of what he talked about on Renee's podcast, of like, he legitimately wanted his release so he can go get all these. He had a reality show pitch. He had all these other things that were like, he kept having to go back to WWE to get permission to do. And he was like, it's not like they weren't going to let him do it. It was the fact that
he had to ask. He
had to keep asking. So he hit Vince and was just like, hey, man, like, he texted him like, hey, and he said, and Vince said, we'll always be brothers.
Now, do you think Tony Khan's back on the phone with Chavo Guerrero?
Did that just cost Ric Flair his AEW contract?
There's absolutely no way. You can't have him show up, right?
I don't know, man. I as JR said, Ric Flair is Teflon. He would have to legitly like,
because he hasn't said anything.
No, and I think even if he says something, like, it'll be, I think it won't be anything like fuck her. It'll be like, look, it didn't happen like that, but I'm over it. I'm moving on, because Ric Flair is such a cultural icon that, and it's weird to say it, like, it's because it's like Ric Flair is not going to stop being in music videos. He's not going to stop being in commercials. As big as this is, it's still not as big it's big in our wrestling community. It's big on Twitter, in our algorithm on Twitter, but it's not big. It's not on CNN. It's not making national news. Like, so I don't see Ric Flair. Maybe he may lose his AEW thing, it made the AEW opportunity, but he's not gonna lose. He's not gonna go anywhere. Like, Ric Flair is not gonna disappear, and I think that's which is crazy. That's what JR means, that he's a made man. Unfortunately, these things with Ric Flair, because it is so Ric Flair. Like, that was him. It was like, you can't get out of it. It wasn't like not to go back to Terry thing, but it wasn't like a thing of like, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and whatever. Hulk's gonna run wild or whatever. Then you turn around saying, my daughter can't bring home a nigger. Like, it was like, you know what I'm saying? It's not. Ric Flair always been like, look, I slept with your dad, I slept with your mama, I slept with her daughter. She rode Space Mountain. I was in a bar naked. Like, he would literally say these things in promos.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think anybody's technically surprised by it. Everybody's surprised by everybody else, which is the most craziest thing.
How could I hate him even more? How could I hate him even more? Here it is right here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's repercussions from this on AEW to JR. Full disclosure, I haven't seen it yet. Again, JR didn't look great in this either. He's like, I don't know, folks. Like, what do you want from me? And I think he literally says that. Like, I don't know, folks. You be the judge. You're the one. And I'm like, this is not like, this isn't a fucking a book. And it's like, turn to page 3 to see this. Turn to page 70 to see this. No, it's not an I don't know, folks thing. Like,
that's what I'm saying. The whole episode was a bunch of, what do you want me to do about it? Nobody was apologetic. It was just, hey, things happen. And I mean, I guess because older guys, like, that's just, not like guys being guys, but a mentality of an older guy like that. Like, they're not changing. They're not gonna be, upset at hey, Carmella. Hey.
What were you doing under the couch?
Little pup. Hey, little pup. Yeah. All right. She said F Dark Side of the Ring. That's what she said.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an ugly situation, and there have been some repercussions, but I mean, I guess we'll see. Who knows? Like, maybe a news network does pick this up. We know that they do like to pick on wrestling whenever they get the chance to. So who knows? We'll see, I guess.
We'll definitely see. That'll be the determining factor.
Yes. So we're gonna wrap up here. I do want to say that we're not gonna have a show next week because Neeson and I next Sunday will be at PWG 3 Mendes.
Hey.
I'm super stoked to go to this event. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Is that the same day as?
It's the day after.
No. Same day as
Extreme Rules? Yes, it is.
Cool.
Sorry, you're gonna miss Extreme Rules.
I'm gonna miss whatever matches they have because all their matches has been on TV.
Yeah. So no show next week. Also, if you are in the LA area next weekend and you're looking for something to do on Saturday, the LAX Fan Fest is happening next Saturday. If you go to laxfanfest.com, which is not the website, it's GeminiSportsCards.com. You can find all the information there. There's literally it plays music when you go there. It's great. Tickets are $25. General admission is at 9 a.m. It's at the LAX Hilton 5711 West Century Boulevard. It's going to be a lot of fun. Literally everyone is going to be there, and we're going to be there. You can come by and say hi. I will just go down the list of people that I can see right now. We got Kane, Bret Hart, Melissa Santos, Katie Lee Burchill, Tori Wilson, Madison Rain, Taryn Terrell, Layla, Deanna Purrazzo. Oh my God. I get to meet her in person.
Talk about the pups.
And talk about Henson. Where are you? There he is. You can see him. He's right there. And how our dogs look very similar. It's gonna be a lot of fun. There's gonna be a lot of people. FanFestLAX.com is the website. FanFestLAX.com. It's in there. It's sent by every single thing we're streaming on. Go check it out, guys. We're gonna be doing a lot of interviews, just like we did last time. A lot of fun. Should be a great time. Oh, and I believe Justin's in town, isn't he? Is he coming next week?
Justin will be in town next week, guys. So look out because we have a lot of content for. Yeah. Wait, why are you saying LOL Neeson? What did I do? I'm working. Plus I'm working. Plus Packers Niners. What did I do?
I don't know. I could not see. Jacob Fatu's going to be there. Oh, Miro's going to be there. D'Lo Brown, The Godfather. Guys, it's going to be a great time. I didn't even mention everyone. There's still like 20 people. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure you check it out, fanfestlax.com. You can get your tickets there. Lots of meet and greets and signings.
Hey, I'm not the one. Yeah, I had the wrong website.
Technically, I told him that website.
Yeah.
So it's my fault. He was just trying to help y'all out. Okay.
Gosh. Jeez.
All right. So we're signing off for now. You can find us on our socials.
NXT 2.0.
Oh, Jesus. NXT. Oh, my God. I just saw it was an hour. Big E's not turning. All right. Let's talk about NXT 2.0 real quick. First impressions, calling it 2.0 is dumb. That's just me. Especially when the tag team you fired is now going by 2.0, which is even funnier.
Especially when this is the third iteration of NXT.
Yes. I am interested to see the rise of Rick Steiner's kid, who I refuse to call by his weird NXT name because a Steiner it's a name, and I feel like they should be using it. But you told me they're going to wait on that.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to wait. They did trademark Rex Steiner. So I think they're going to wait till he comes up on the main roster.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. I watched his promo and I watched he looks good. I'm excited to see what they do with him. That could be a lot of fun. And you also saw there, we have a new NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa. What do we think of Ciampa bringing in the new era of NXT?
Should have been Pete Dunne. Okay, why is Tommaso Ciampa quote unquote bringing in the new era? Like, all respects to Ciampa, Pete Dunne is that guy, and he should be bringing the new era in. Did they react to the picture of Lauren?
I don't know what they're doing. No, I don't know what they're doing over there. I was trying to shine light on them to see what was going on.
Thought you're like, look at your mom.
Yeah, look at your mom and stop going under the couch and doing whatever it is you're doing.
But
yeah, it should have been Pete. It should have been Pete Dunne. Or if you're really just trying to drive the point home, it should have been LA Knight. If you're really trying to drive the point home.
No.
All right, fine.
No,
whatever.
Please.
But I think the thing we really want to talk about is
this wedding. The main event of the show.
The main event.
The best wrestling wedding I've ever seen. Hands down, guys. Hands down.
Love the set. I really enjoyed the set. But this was something to behold. So he's basically like their really creepy Orange Cassidy, right?
Pretty much. And
not that it's great. I love it. There's nothing wrong with that.
I love every moment of it.
A wedding without a fight? Exactly. Well, I mean, they did choke out the officiant. So, and let me tell you, I mean, the vows were great.
Oh.
Everyone in the crowd, like we got Eichmann up here. And I mean, he's just in his wrestling gear, which is just great. I love that. And also, like, you even have the grizzled young vets in the background, kind of like just enjoying it.
Yes.
Like you can see after Dexter says I do, and everyone pops for it, which was even the crowd, I think some of them were punching each other. Like they were like, oh my God, he talked. He finally talked. And I think Gargano posted something on Twitter where he's like, wrestling is about moments. I love wrestling. And I mean that, even if they're silly. And I thought that was perfectly said. This was a lot of fun. When he said and everyone was like, oh,
it
was great. It was fun.
Dude. Oh man. Yeah, that I haven't, again, like feeling those moments of wrestling is what it's about, right? I think with Monday, Big E winning, you felt a general reaction. The wedding, you just felt like things kept happening, and I didn't have my phone in my hand. I wasn't looking at my phone. I was literally laughing from Johnny Gargano, the weird walk that they were doing, like to the ring, to him being like, who gets like, are you sure? Are you sure? He's like, where's the ring? Austin's like, he's like, how do you know him? That's my guy. That's my guy. The axe, showing the axe, like,
oh yeah.
Opening a jacket, showing everybody. You could tell the crowd was invested. I think that's what makes wrestling. And Johnny said it the best is the moments. And Indy Hartwell, just delivering, like the way she's able to deliver these comedic lines and just come off so endearing is incredible. Like it really reminds me of it reminds me of the Stephanie McMahon Triple H thing, and like when Stephanie was the enduring, it's like, no, not then, and like next thing you know, next week she was the fucking badass Stephanie McMahon out of nowhere. And I think honestly, that's what we're gonna see. I think this is a perfect thing to give Indy Hartwell something, and I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up heel sometime within the next 3 months.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I honestly thought I was even did somebody say Andre Chase, and then you have Odyssey have his moment, so I think everybody on the stage had their moments. But I was waiting for The Rock's daughter, because I mean her and Indy are close. And I know she's been training, and they still have her there. So I was waiting for her to make her debut during this wedding, or at least be one of like the bridesmaids. But man, that was the one thing that kept me interested in this new NXT 2.0.
Absolutely.
Because everything else was super gimmicky and felt like Raw 2006, like Heidenreich was coming out or something. The Highlanders, Highland Reich.
I feel like
I feel like this is all we're getting. We're gonna get the Highlander, Heidenreich, FBI, the Deuce. What was the Grease like?
Well, the FBI was a ECW gimmick that they just brought over.
Right. But what's his name wasn't always in it, right? The Italian, what's his name?
Which one?
The little one. He stayed the longest. Yeah,
Little Guido was always in it.
He was always in it. Okay. And then the Deuce, Domino. This, I feel like this is literally that era of SmackDown, really, pretty much, because I feel like they're all on SmackDown. This is what NXT is. This is exactly what NXT 2.0 is. It's that era.
All right. Okay. All right then. Let us. The arena looks like a cosmic catalog. I like it. All right, I got to get out of here because I don't know what is happening under this couch. It's just probably things are on fire. I'm not sure what's happening. But guys, thanks so much for joining us. Our socials are right here. And we should be doing a gaming stream at some point soon.
Maybe we'll start in October, since we can't do it next Sunday, but we also do it during the week. We could do it during the week.
Yeah, we can do it whenever. Let's see. Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, YouTube.com/that hashtag show TV, Twitch.tv/that hashtag show, and Instagram.com/THS.wrestling. But guys, most importantly, that hashtag show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll see you sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Big East champion.
Thank you, Norm.